Going up all this while you might hear my fan going off a little bit. It's a little bit hot. Rain just start falling at NYC. So you know when the rain start fall the first heat. However, it's been a minute since I've did a video. It's been a really hectic week in NYC here with curfew and all. But before I draw that even further, so the video is gonna be on Spice, World Dog, and Lisa Anna. Because when Spice was out there protesting, a lot of people saying she not do that for Jamaica, or even other Jamaicans where they on them Instagram and say, yeah, fight Black Lives Matter. I think Bounty Killer did want to do something today Saturday at the embassy. I wonder why the embassy take away visa, why I'm not visa for 10 years. So people have them different opinions. So them too enough that now have nothing to do with them. Jamaica is more about colorism and classism. So I'm going to show 3 different videos and then you can take from it one you can. Alright, so on later.
Jamaican, open on the eye. My face shine out because I have a chrome white on my face. I start bleach again. A lot of Jamaican people me see a name a protest. And they do a lot of things. A lot of them me see a post. I never see you go so yet so for Jamaica yet, dog. What me could never go up a UE because turn up when they take away blood clot dumb girl what they are. Blind girl. When me could never go to a station, go protest, or then kill a little youth or they are try selling egg which party mother did same place. A whole heap of things are going on at Jamaica. We not go, they go do nothing because Jamaica don't know nothing for Jamaica. And a kill up on yourself over some foreign news. How much people dead, dog. A yard, I mean, I say, none of them go on so like, oh no, go on for some little man who don't even know. Dog, you look a push on and push foreign, dog. Jamaica need it more, bro. I mean, I care what nobody wants it, dog. Jamaica need it, bro. I don't know how waste on the time, dog. That's why I like someone on the dog.
Hey guys, I just wanted to openly voice my opinion on everything that is happening right now with Black Lives Matters, the protest, George Floyd, and this whole situation. To be honest, even though my heart is inexplicable at the moment, I am going to try my best to express myself in the best way that I possibly can. A lot of people I've been seeing have openly voiced their opinion, which I do respect. But I just want to say that oftentimes when things happen, I hate to see Black people attacking each other. And that's what I'm seeing. People saying, oh, why them have a protest like that? Oh, this looks ghetto. This makes us look bad. Did I read that, or am I seeing those comments? No, seriously. Am I seeing those comments? Because at the end of the day, you stay home doing nothing, and people are out there fighting for our rights or freedom, for justice, voicing their opinion. That's their way of expressing themselves. Yes, we get that. It's not right to loot. It's not right to vandalize properly and burn whatever. It's a protest. It's a riot. So all these years, when the police have been killing these innocent Black people, let's not forget Sandra Bland. It's not only Black men, Black people, and people have been in the streets protesting. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. Only never hear. Y'all didn't hear those words? That's what it meant. No justice, no peace. That's why there's a riot right now. That's why people are protesting. That's why people are angry. We are tired. We are fed up. They keep killing these people one behind each other. Just the other day, they killed Aubrey. We protest. Then we stop. Now they kill George Floyd. People tired. They're fed up. So if this is their way, like I said, I'm not saying it is right, but if this is their way of expressing that we're tired, we're fed up, we're angry, our ancestors have already fought for us. They've already been through it. Where are the people, the white people, who says they love us? You know, a lot of Black people is like, oh, how come I don't see Oprah? How come I don't see... They're calling out all the Black people and we're picking at each other. How come I say Justin Timberlake and Justin Bieber, Tom Cruise, when I pay my money go theater go watch? How come I don't see all these white people who is at status, the celebrity white people? Kim Kardashian, walking in the streets of LA with Kanye West. That's what I want to see. popular celebrities coming together. All the Kim Kardashian who have black husband and black men and black kids. That's what me want to know. Where are they? I want to know where's Taylor Swift. I want to know where's Leonardo DiCaprio. All these white people. Tom Cruise, me call film name already? Yeah. Ben Affleck. I want to see the white people who are not racist, because the truth is, at this point, is not black versus white no more. It is all of us against white supremacy. It is all of us against racism. Because the truth is, I do see a lot of white people out there in the streets protesting. So everybody, period, is fed up. Everybody fed up. They're tired. You keep killing these black people innocently, repeatedly, one behind the other. Sandra Bland, all of them. Aubrey just died. Let's not forget Trayvon Martin. And we all protest and we stop. They kill Martin, we protest, we stop. They kill Aubrey, we protest, we stop. Now them kill George Floyd in front of our eye. We watched his breath leaving his body. That man cried for his mother. And you are in your house talking about the people mashing up buildings? People... I'm not saying it's right. What I'm saying, my point is, because a lot of you like to take things out of context and run with it. Oh, Spice telling people to mash up. I'm not saying it's right, but what I'm saying, all of this can come back. George Floyd will never come back. The man is dead. The man was killed innocently. That's my point. So allow the people to protest. Allow the people to, it's a form of expression. Let them express themselves. Everything that's happening right now, it is going to go back to normal. Buildings can come back and everything. I've said it. I don't care how you feel or when I speak what's here and in my heart. But that man, George Floyd, he will never come back. He's dead. So just allow the people to protest. As a black woman, as a black mother, with a black son, so that my son can go outside and be pulled over by a cop and not killed innocently. Allow them to protest and express themselves. And stop stay home and talk about, oh, this is ghetto and this is making us look bad and ray. And our ancestors are the reason why you are even here inside of a house living lavish and even have a voice to speak. Because they fought for us, fight for our freedom. Here come talk about you see and know what our ancestors went through. It was more than what people out there doing right now. So I don't want to get too emotional, because you know when I get emotional, I start go Jamaica now. Y'all can't understand me. But allow the people to express themselves and voice their opinions, because we all see there's people out there who are protesting peacefully, and the police are taking away their water, trying to provoke them, That's just my little 2 cents. I want to see more support from the Caucasians, the celebrity Caucasians. And right now, at the end of the day, it don't matter who we call upon. All we need right now and all we need for call upon is God. But that's just how I feel. I just feel like we need more support together. Stop dividing and fighting against each other, make comments about each other and whatever. Everything that you're commenting on can come back. Just have that in the back of your mind. George Floyd is dead. Black life matters. And everybody know how I feel. I've done a whole protest with my body. I use my own body as a walking billboard to hit out against how people look at us with this color. So y'all already know my black hypocrisy movement that I did. So you know how I feel. But yes, black life matters. And that's just my little 2 cents on everything that is happening. Leave the people, them protest. And the protest needs to keep going on and on and on, because at the end of the day, somebody else is going to end up dead if we don't put a stoppage to this.
When I was growing up, I actually grew up in a period of history where there was something called apartheid. And in my lifetime, I witnessed blacks and whites not being able to be together in South Africa. Jamaica, under the leadership of Norman Manley, was the first country in the Western Hemisphere to declare, even before we were independent from Britain, that we would not trade with a country that had those kinds of restrictions on black people. It was a courageous step, but it was the right thing to do, and it was a principled thing to do. Because of that, Jamaica, through international diplomacy and what we stood up for in the world, was recognized as the country that, despite our size, was prepared to stand up for persons who couldn't stand up for themselves, even when we didn't have our own rights and liberties in terms of independence from Britain. Subsequently, we had other issues to contend with. And so in the 1970s, when Michael Manley decided that he was now going to trade and have South-South cooperation with Africa and have a new international economic order with Africa and countries in Africa, Kissinger visited here in 1976 to tell Michael Manley to stay out of Africa. When Cuba asked Jamaica in the 70s if their planes could fuel here to help fight the war in Angola for democracy, Jamaica said yes. Through our music, through our agitation, through our principled approaches, Jamaica has always been that country that has stood up as a beacon in the world for human rights and justice. Not interfering in people's political affairs, but the world knew where we stood. And that is perhaps why when Kenyatta was arrested in 1953, he called for a Jamaican to represent him by the name of Dudley Thompson, because the Pan-Africanist movement was a vibration in the world. Perhaps that is why when I got to South Africa in the early 90s, or, let me back up. There are two places when Nelson Mandela was freed that he had to visit first. First was Cuba, the other was Jamaica. And perhaps that is why when I got to South Africa, the South Africans were very, very clear about Jamaica's role in their freedom, with other countries as well. But they could speak about our music. They could speak about Bob Marley and the concert in Zimbabwe for freedom and for democracy. So I want Jamaican young people to understand that perhaps you are questioning why some of us are taking a stand for the freedom of our black brothers and sisters in other places, when obviously we have issues here. It is because it's in our DNA. It is because it's who we are. It is because 100 years before full freedom, there was a woman who walked from Portland in the east to tell her brother in St. Elizabeth not to trust the British. That woman was Nanny, and her brother was Kojo. and 100 years, regardless of what the history says and how it's written, there was a woman and a set of people in Jamaica who beat the British 100 years before full freedom in this country. It's who we are, it's in our DNA. And perhaps we need to find, again, that fervor to speak up for issues that threaten not only our mortality, but threaten our presence, because guess what? The history of America is built on black people. We can go to Starbucks in the United States and sit down. Our children can go to universities there. We can visit, some of us, if we choose to, and feel free as Caribbean nationals because of the rioting. And so when we see persons over there fighting for their lives and fighting for their freedoms, around the world we have to coalesce regardless of where we are and say, yo brother, we're there with you. Because today for you, tomorrow for me. So it's a very, very interesting time that we're living in the world. And sometimes the lid is taken off of situations to demonstrate exactly what has been in the underbelly. And people are angry, especially countries around the world perhaps, that feel that the United States has interfered in their own affairs when all of this is happening in their country. I'm not going to get into that. What I want us to get into is who we are as Jamaicans, those things that we stand up for in terms of our character, why it is that we are so respected around the world. It is because we've always stood up on principle. We've always stood up for the underdog. We've always stood up for freedom, for liberty, for solidarity. And we've always been a revolutionary people. Our reggae music is revolutionary. It's inspiring. It breaks down dogma. It shatters propaganda. It's a vanguard of making sure that people feel liberated, and it carries you through the struggle. So for whatever else that we're all feeling at this point, because I have a son, you have children, we have relatives that live in the United States. The diaspora of Jamaica and the Caribbean and Africa all help to build that country and all help to build the UK. And their children, their grandchildren are there. So, even if you can't get out on the road, feel that spirit of solidarity. And also feel the spirit here for children who are being raped, for mothers who are being abused, for every time a young man goes out there and for some reason somebody just hears him gunned down. When will it get to a point where enough is enough? I'm asking you to dig deep. Dig deep and remember the history of who we are as Jamaicans. Not segregating by virtue of whether we're in a geographical location or if we're in Jamaica, but having the same constructs and concepts and understanding that it is those things that we have stood up for that makes us truly who we are as a strong people, with a feisty resolve in the world that we have the answer and know what is right, and that nobody can bludgeon us into acquiescence or into nothingness. And we must feel that way for everybody else too. So no matter where you come from, how much money you have, whether you're my complexion, a little darker, a little lighter, all of us come from Africa. Remember me tell you that. And let us try and understand the responsibility to make sure there's liberation for all our ancestors and our future generations of power to come. So respect. Pick up yourself. One love.